Okay, since Dr. Shannon led us in prayer before the reception, I'm going to call the September 2025 Benton County Board of Education meeting to order, and I've asked Mr. Livingston to lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Michelle, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Hargis.
Here.
Mr. Livingston.
Here.
Mr. Winters. Mr. Hyatt. Ms. Kinnon. Here. Ms. Arnold. Here. Mr. Hedge.
Here.
Mr. Mills. Ms. Douglas. Here. Mr. Marks.
Here.
Mr. Blue.
Here.
Mr. Thornton.
Here.
10 present, 2 absent.
In present, 2 absent. We do have a quorum. Next item on the agenda is election of officers. Do I have a motion for chair?
I'm going to make a motion. I'd like to let John Kennan, if she would be willing to take that again.
A motion from Mr. Winters for Ms. Shauna Kennan.
Second.
Have a second from Mr. Thornton or Ms. Arnold, whichever one you want to choose. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Congratulations. Well, any more nominations? Got ahead of myself. Any more nominations? All right. Congratulations, Chair Kevin. I will let you take over from here.
Thank you. The chair is now accepting nominations for vice chair.
I'd like to make another nomination. I'd like to nominate Robert Livingston, if he would take the vice chair again for another year.
I'll second that.
Anybody else want? No. Good job.
We have a motion to nominate and a second for Mr. Robert Livingston to be vice chair. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. Ayes have it. Any other nominations for vice chair? All right. Congratulations, Mr. Robert.
Good.
Next on our agenda is approval of the agenda. Remember that when we approve the agenda, we also approve the consent agenda, which includes approval of August minutes, substitutes pending background checks, overnight trip for the CHS softball team on April the 10th and 11th of 26 in Knoxville, Tennessee, approve all beta and CTE clubs overnight trips for the 25-26 school year, approval of September the 12th as School Bus Driver Appreciation Day, which is a new trust day, approve schools and BOE copy machine contracts, and approval of Deshaun Whitfield as a CHS non-staff football coach.
Motion to approve tonight's agenda.
We have a motion and a second to approve the agenda and the consent agenda. Any corrections to the minutes or additions to the agenda? If not, we will vote. All those in favor of approving the agenda and the consent agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
If there are any opposed, please say no. Ayes have it. We have approved the agenda and consent agenda. Next on our agenda is the approval of the executive committee report. The Executive Committee of the Benton County Board of Education met on Thursday, August 7th, 2025 at 5 p.m. A recommendation was made to approve the agreement with Dynamics Physical Therapy to become the exclusive sports medicine partner with the Benton County Board of Education for high school basketball and football and other high school sports on an on-call basis. The agreement is attached. All approved. Members present were Shauna Kennan, Board Chair, and Director Mark Lawrence. I recommend that we approve this Executive Committee report. Anybody have questions, comments?
I will tell you that having an executive committee is not something that we wanted to do, but West Tennessee Healthcare could not provide us with a athletic trainer. So, we thought we would have one. We had one last year. And so, and my understanding was the trainer wanted to come back, but she has to do what her boss tells her. And so, Miss Kayla Mills and the nurses had met with Dynamics, and they agreed they don't have an athletic trainer, but we do have a PT and Miss Abby Holiday, which is Canada Central. Well, it's not Holiday anymore, but she's working with the football team, and I called Jared Kenny because we really needed that person on the sidelines for our football teams, and then there'll be at basketball games as well, and then on the on call, like. An example would be if something happens today with track and field, then they call and go from there. So apologies that we had to do it with an executive committee, but we really needed to make sure that that was in place before football season started.
Any other discussion? With no further discussion, we will vote. All those in favor of approving the executive committee report, please say aye.
Aye.
If there are any opposed, please say no. The ayes have it. We have approved the executive committee report. Now we will approve the agreement.
Michael, welcome.
Is there a second?
Okay.
We have a motion and a second to approve the Dynamics agreement for sports medicine. Is there any discussion about this?
Let me see if I understand. I think we would, like Miss Abby said, she was on the field with PT. So the dynamic physical therapy people, they supply her for our
That's
game thing. So,
And it doesn't have to be her.
or somebody.
Yes. Okay. But they will provide someone at all our football games, all our basketball games.
Okay.
And then on an on-call basis, and then hopefully in the future, you know, it would be great if we had one at all, but that's just almost impossible at high school.
I understand. And there's no cars. That's all we're working. Right. No cars.
No call. Well, yeah, there is a call. It's between 250 and 300 a night, and that's about what we were paying last year, plus travel. But with the new TSSAA rules, it's just, we have to have it. And our local physicians, which I totally understand with the liability stuff, it's really hard to ask them to volunteer. So it's just, we did it last year with West Tennessee Healthcare, and it averaged about $300 a ball game. So, and we budgeted.
So it's already in play.
Any further discussion? If not, we will vote. Remember, we are voting to approve the Dynamics agreement. Ms. Michelle, will you please call roll?
Mr. Hargis.
Yes.
Mr. Livingston.
Yes.
Mr. Winters.
Yes.
Ms. Kinnon.
Yes.
Miss Arnold. Yes. Mr. Hedge.
Yes.
Miss Douglas. Mr. Marks.
Yes.
Mr. Blue.
Yes.
Mr. Thornton.
Yes.
Would anyone like to change their vote? 10 yes.
With 10 yes, the Dynamics agreement has been approved. Next on our agenda is approval of budget resolutions. There's a whole bunch of them.
Make a motion to approve them as written.
Are we just gonna do this packet of them and then the extra one later?
The extra one, it included it.
Okay. There's an extra, just one piece of paper on the other side of y'all's folder that we will include. Did we get a second? We have a second.
No, sir.
We have a motion and a second to approve these budget resolutions as printed. Mr. Florence, do you want to explain?
Well, first of all, after the August meeting, we said September was going to be a resolution-free board meeting. To be honest, I don't know that we're ever going to have a resolution-free board meeting in the future. Most of this, and yes, it is an 8-cent resolution for a $2 billion budget. But Dr. Shannon and Marilyn and I can tell you that what the state told us to do. So, you have the nurses grant, we had to move some money instead just for, the different teachers for salaries. You had the pre-K grant. JAG, that is the, career and college, but it's the grant that, Courtney, Vance, she has her students where they work in the community with, work-based learning. And that's just some money for her insurance and retirement. We've had to move some maintenance. Michelle has, she's trying to spend all that extra money she has. You can see the nursery grant, that's just putting that into the budget. What a blessing that's been. I think we have one more year after this year. You never know, it's a grant, but we do have it this year. And, and then the $8,000, well, you see the Title I, we couldn't do that last, because we were on hold with the federal budget. And then that, $8,000 that was in the back, we had already took care of that. We thought Eastland, and then the state sent, us an email that they wanted that put in federal, not in, GP. So that's all that is moving. So no new money, just, making sure we have the budget correct. And I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Any questions? Or further discussion? If there are none, Ms. Michelle, will you please call roll?
Mr. Hargis.
Yes.
Mr. Livingston.
Yes.
Mr. Winters.
Yes.
Ms. Kinnon.
Yes.
Ms. Arnold.
Yes.
Mr. Hedge.
Yes.
Ms. Douglas.
Yes.
Mr. Marks.
Yes.
Mr. Blue.
Yes.
Mr. Thornton.
Yes.
Would anyone like to change their vote? 10 yes.
10 yeses, the budget resolutions have been approved. The next item on our agenda is approval of the Drywood HVAC project bid. We get a motion in a second, we can just go. We have a motion
One second.
and a second. Any discussion on this?
Well, we submitted this in the paper. We had a construction meeting and we haven't had many bids lately where we just had one bid, but, you can see Todd Prince Construction was the only bid at $547,470. So that, I'll make a recommendation, we'll approve that bid. The good thing about that is, I think, Bill's subcontract was Fuller Refrigeration. And then, Brandon's last name skips me, but the good thing about it, it's all local people. That's what we installing this. The plan is we actually did 2 phases. We're hoping, working with Mr. White, trying to adjust schedules maybe the week before fall break, that they could maybe do one pod and then do the other pod, during fall break. That's our hope. Then all our teachers, all the classrooms would be finished after fall break. And then Christmas break come in and there'll be HVAC put in the library and, administrative office area. Then we will have to replace one in the gym, and then there'll be a couple units to air condition the cafeteria and those office areas behind the cafeteria, and the chiller will be gone. And I think from talking to Mr. Fuller, we can probably deem that chiller surplus and maybe recoup a little bit of our money with that, because somebody would be glad to have that, and we'll be glad for them to get it. So that, we're hoping to have it done by Christmas, but the contract says by spring break, because with ordering parts, there's always a lot of things that happen. But I think they're comfortable having the mini splits installed in the classrooms by fall break, the end of fall break. And I think Mr. White will tell you is it the 300 or the 500 that we installed during Christmas?
300.
Those teachers, they really like that. And I will tell you, the cost was very similar to what that emergency purchase was, which I thought was encouraging.
What's the brand?
Is it
It's Texas.
Mitsubishi or it's
Mitsubishi.
Mitsubishi is what it is, that's it.
How many units?
I think there's 24, I think there's 12 per pod, and then you have the 3 big units. I know the gym unit alone is over 50,000. So you could probably, those 4 units are probably a third of it anyway.
Any other questions? There are none. Ms. Michelle, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Hargis,
Yes.
Mr. Livingston,
Yes.
Mr. Winters,
Yes.
Ms. Kinnon,
Yes.
Ms. Arnold,
Yes.
Mr. Hedge,
Yes.
Ms. Douglas,
Yes.
Mr. Marks,
Yes.
Mr. Blue,
Yeah.
Mr. Thornton.
Yes.
Would anyone like to change their vote? 10 yes.
With 10 yeses, we have approved Fog Prince Construction for this bid for the Broward HVAC project. Next on the agenda is the director's report.
First of all, I encourage the teachers not to stay, but I am excited about this new group. And we have quite the range. We have some with experience. We have some right out of college. We have, like you've seen earlier, from all over the country. So we are excited about that. Also, I think everybody knows Miss Donna, and I failed back at the August meeting. I think she was here, but Miss Donna Sampson is the new principal at Camden Elementary. So I think all the board members know Miss Donna, but just wanted to make sure I acknowledge Miss Donna's back there. I put these on the back of your packet, and as they say here at the office, I'm not as good as I used to be, and I'll totally agree with that. But we just found out about these today. There is a contract for EduPoint, and I put that in the very back of your packet. This is the student information system we've been using for 13 years. But the state, we had a contract with the state, and they would pay for it. Then they paid for half of it, and now they pay for none of it. But it's in the base if you look at TISA. So with that said, before we submitted the contract, they sent it an email today. I thought it would be good for the board to approve that. So it's nothing new. It's about $9,000 at $2.25 per student. And so I just, Chair, if we could get a motion in a second, and I think a voice vote is fine.
Make a motion to approve.
We have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion on this one? If there's no further discussion, we will vote. All those in favor of approving the EduPoint Education Systems agreement, please say aye. If there are any opposed, please say no. Ayes have it. We have approved this.
Okay, and then the second, the school leaks contract, replaces our current contract with Major Clarity that provides our students opportunities through college and career readiness. I think we purchased this through the innovative school model, and I'm going to let Ms. Milner or Dr. Shannon answer any questions, or maybe give you a better explanation than I can give you of what this is for our students. So Dr. Shannon, Brandy's pointing to you, so.
Well, first, let me apologize for being so late getting this to you. Our ISM grant was approved first. So we want to get this moving as rapidly as we could. Thank you for your consideration of this proposal. It's going to replace Major Clarity, which allows us to help better track and report to the state our early post-secondary opportunities for all of our students, regardless of what they may get. That is a funding mechanism that is outside of the base of TISA. And we very much want to make sure our students are afforded the opportunity to have those secondary opportunities. But we also want to report them accurately to the state to receive the funding that we get back to help offset the cost of this. And so this mechanism is recommended by some colleagues where Ms. Milner and I were attending in a conference. They were very pleased with it. She and I, perhaps others, sat in on a meeting where we overviewed it. And so we think this is going to be I wouldn't say a game changer, but it's certainly going to be very nice to be able to allow parents and students to better track what they're doing and to have this availability so that we can have greater accountability with the state and not lose those money that are available to us to come back to this district.
Thank you, Dr. Shannon. Any questions for Dr. Shannon?
Our total voice vote or roll call?
I think the voice is fine.
Okay. Any further discussion on this? This is a 2-year contract, correct? It ends
It's a 2-year contract.
August of 27.
Chair, we don't have a motion or a second.
Oh, sorry. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We have a motion
Second.
and a second. We just did that one backwards.
You know, just a little, but it's
I
okay.
know. Anybody else have anything? If not, we will vote. All those in favor of approving the school links agreement, please say aye. If there are any opposed, please say no. Ayes have it, we have approved that agreement.
And Chair, I apologize for that, but Dr. Shannon nailed it. We get these grants approved, and then until we have board approval, we can't spend the money. So if we know it, it's better to put it in on the director's report instead of changing. So the money's there, we just need that approved. So thank y'all for your understanding. We do need to schedule a policy committee meeting. I put a little bit about, some issues we're having. I think it would be better for us to discuss that at policy. There's also a couple other policies that I'd like to discuss. So, I put some dates, either this Thursday or next Tuesday or Thursday. It really doesn't matter to me. Obviously, our chair will not be able to attend, but we can.
Well, if it's on a Thursday, I can't, but a Tuesday, I can.
Well, what about, is everybody good with next Tuesday at, that's the 9th, a week from today at 5:30?
I would be in Nashville, but I would probably go anyway.
That's that date.
The 9th, today's the 2nd.
That's the
What time's that?
6.
Well, I am out of town the next week. And then the next Tuesday is, our fall district.
Maybe get humble.
If we did it Thursday,
What about Monday? Does anybody have a problem? That's your, city meeting, but you're not a volunteer. So what about next Monday at 5:30?
what is that date?
That is the 10th of the 8th.
We have a JV football game.
What time to start?
I don't know. They don't just times on
6:30.
those.
6 would be my guess.
We just know we have to be there.
Does anybody have an issue with the 8th at 5? Is that too early? Monday, the 8th at 5? Well, let's schedule that and we can, we just need to discuss some things and then we'll go from there.
About 8, 5 o'clock.
The 8th at 5 o'clock and I will send you a text. Okay, the TSBA Fall District Meeting is in Humboldt on Tuesday, the 23rd. We'll leave the office here around 3:30 for those of you that have registered. If you did not register and you would still like to go, if you'll let me know, we can get you registered this week and you're welcome to attend. If you did register and you're not going to be able to make it, we can still cancel that by Friday. So that's usually and Humboldt's not too far. When it's Dyersburg or something, it's a long day, but we should be home pretty early. A few maintenance issues, the awning at parent pickup at Briarwood School has been installed. Also, we painted the walkway that galvanized has been there for, well, since 71, I think. And when we put the new roof and we put there's a bunch of argument of what color that is. It's brown to me. Some say gold, some say copper, but the dark trim. So we had that painted. I think it really adds to Briarwood, and so we had that done. Coriel has completed the roof project at Canyon Junior High. If you haven't seen the logo, I think I sent it to everybody. It's pretty neat. They were here Friday to give out T-shirts. Part of the deal for the logo, they're hurting, but they come and did a media presentation, and I had to go out early and talk about the roof, that project. But it was quite amazing. They were done in 6 weeks, and basically done in 4 weeks, just a little trim work. So it did leak a little bit the first time, but we hadn't had any since. And when you put a new roof on, with all those seams, it's nothing perfect. I told you last month during fall break, we're going to fix the parent pickup. I know we've had calls about that at the high school. The way they route and the curve where they turn, it's eating away at the concrete. We're going to do asphalt. If that doesn't work, then we may have to look at, like we did at elementary a few years ago, and just pour concrete. But we're going to try the asphalt first, and they're going to do that during fall break. The generator has been installed here at the office. Thanks Mr. Thornton and Mr. Scott Owens from the electric department or electric company. They come and talk about, if we do have a disaster here, not having electricity could be quite an issue. So that's installed and it's up and running. We're going to paint the exterior doors at the Career and Technical Center, the roll-up doors. My wife says I'm anal, but if you go by and you really look at them, they don't look very good. And so that's something we're going to hopefully get done in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Next project on the painting, probably do this summer, will be the high school doors. It seems like we just did it yesterday, but I think it's been 8 years, so time flies. And so we're just trying to tidy things up, but we will have the vocational center done before winter. I've talked about the HVAC project at Briarwood. And then we've also got a couple companies that are just looking at the football stadium for LED lights. That thing is getting, which is what you wanted and what the board wanted, what the community wanted. The football field is being used, which is great. But as those lights being on all the time, that is an expense, where if you had LEDs, it would be a huge savings. And not a big concern about what it costs to leave them on. So we're just looking at that. I can tell you from talking to different directors, you're talking $250,000, but there are some TVA grants out there that we could possibly get about half of that paid for. So I think it's worth looking into, and then we'll take care of that once we know. I will be attending the superintendent's conference in Gatlinburg. Saturday, the 13th of September through September the 17th. I will send you a text to remind you. If you need me, just feel free to text or call, and I'll get back to you. October meeting. I don't know that we've ever done this, but and I will remind you, and I'll send your memo out early, but it is on Thursday. Okay, well, I don't know that we've ever had a school board meeting on Thursday, but fall break is the following week, so we thought it would be better, especially with the resolutions, and we're going to have the same goal, no resolution October, but I wouldn't count on that. But we will meet on Thursday the 2nd, and like I said, I will remind you. And then the last thing I have is I did talk to Tim this afternoon about 4 o'clock. I've had the opportunity to tell somebody, he said, "Oh, Mark, is the best thing." They give me a shower just a couple hours ago. So he's weak. He wanted me to tell you that he loved you, and that he had a battle ahead of him, and he didn't know what was ahead, but he did want me to tell the board how much, he said, "You better tell that board how much I love them, and I'll see them soon, but he won't be at the policy meeting in the next week or two," is what he told me. So with that said, we all know Hummer's Hummer. And I don't know a bigger heart than Tim Hyatt, but just please keep him in your prayers. And he did say he could feel them. And in Hummer fashion, he said, don't send a card. I know you want to, just keep praying. I feel it. So, with that said, just please keep Tim in your prayers, and I will keep you up to date. I think Brent's been talking to Virginia and Tim. Virginia's texting me. I'm trying not to worry her, but I am checking every day, so I will keep y'all up to date as I hear. And then as far as the board, I think we will just wait until he gets home, and then we'll do something from the board to make sure that we help Tim and Virginia. So with that said, that's all I have.
Do we have any visitors on the paper? No. Reminders, next Monday at 5 here in this room, we have a policy committee meeting. Tuesday, 9/23, we're going to meet here at 3:30 and go to Humboldt for our fall meeting with TSBA. And our next meeting is Thursday, October the 2nd at 6 p.m. here. Anybody have anything else? If nothing else, the chair would entertain a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye. Meeting adjourned.